Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now, Sherri Shepherd.
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
I'm doing
Good
all right.
morning, Sherri.
A little awkward. The first conversation between you and Angela Yee was like, I know you ain't got no pants on. And you replied, I know. I'm like, well.
Because it's very businessy up at the top, and I'm going back to sleep at the bottom.
Yeah, business on top, party on the bottom.
We was talking about you this morning, Sherri. I never knew that you was on Friends.
Yes, you remember it was Gabrielle Union, Aisha Tyler, and it was me. I'm Rhonda, and these aren't real. Pete, I gave you my pudding. I shared my snack pack with you.
That was a memorable line.
I'll be shopping for
I didn't know.
and people ask me to say the lines.
Really?
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know what was happening. I thought you was having a stroke. I was like, what is going on? I didn't know what you was doing just now.
Let me ask you this. Sherri, did you ever used to watch Friends before you were on an episode? Keep it real.
I really didn't. I really didn't, because there was nobody that looked like me, but I watched Living Single.
Same here.
All the time,
Yes.
which I was also on Living Single, but they had to fight for me to be on Friends because the role that I did was written for a white person. And my agent said, just let her come in the room and audition and see what she does. And that's how I got hired.
And they never brought you back because you called out all the white people? They said you left a postcard?
That's hilarious.
I was devastated. I was in my early 20s and I was so excited to be on Friends because they had let my agents know that I did such a great job. And that literally, that particular episode was one of the top, fan favorites, even to this day. And so I made a postcard with me and I brought up the color, like my skin, everything was just real colorized. And I put on the back of the postcard, Friends finally got some color. And I sent it to all the people because we didn't have all the social media. So I sent it to all my friends and fans and all of the producers at Friends, and they never called me back. Like sometimes if your character will steal a scene, they will call you back to do other work, especially because I worked in the museum with David Schwimmer. A lot of times they will call you back and you become a recurring. They never called me back for any auditions ever. And I was so devastated because I said, did I offend producers? So I'm not saying that they should have called me back, but I never was called back. That's never happened on anything I've ever done. Usually I get called back, either become a recurring or a regular.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel like, because now you see what everybody's talking about with diversity and everybody's, reaching out. I feel like people are reaching out now to Black people that they might not have even been reaching out to. Like, damn, are they calling me on purpose? Because now people are so much more aware. You think that's a positive thing, or do you feel like it's more tokenism?
I hope it stays. I hope people don't go back to the way they used to. This is a great thing that they're calling. This is that they're going, hey, let's look at somebody else of color for this role. I hope it continues. That's what I'm hoping for.
Are they calling you more? Are they reaching out to you now with everything going on? The phone lines are starting to light up. Your agent is calling you, but like, hey, we're getting a lot of offers right now, a lot of auditions.
I'm hoping that comes my way, but I don't think my calls have increased because I think people just know me and they know my reputation. But I hope that that's happening for other people who didn't have, the chances that I've had.
Right.
Well, not yet.
Are you happy with the diversity?
Y'all call me.
For what? We ain't got nothing to offer you.
You do have something to offer me, so I got to call. This ain't gonna help me at all.
But listen, you have stayed working though. So just for other people out there who are trying to make it right now, what is the difference that you see from when you first started in your career and now? Just was it a lot more difficult back then? And what advice would you give to young Black women and young Black men who are trying to break into the industry and having a difficult time?
I think number one, if you know this is what you're supposed to do, don't let anybody stop you, because it only takes one person. I mean, even with the show I was promoting, Iglesias, Mr. Iglesias, Gabriel Iglesias hired to be his love interest. They were auditioning name actresses who and someone from our wardrobe department, Elora Casado, was a theater major in New York, but she had no agent in LA, and she was doing our wardrobe. And the head of the wardrobe went to Gabriel and said, would you just give her a chance to audition? that's something that you don't do. You could get fired for doing something like that. But Gabe, being the person that he is, he said, okay. And Laura came in and blew him away. They hired her. They hired the wardrobe assistant to play his love interest. And she was amazing. They made her regular on the show. So that's what I tell people. It only takes one person to believe in you. So if this is what you know you're supposed to do, keep doing it. Now, what I see that's different now is now people are going, well, why can't the chief of staff of the hospital be a Black person or be a Latina person? So, I think it is opening up, because I had the reputation when I did Friends and Suddenly Susan, I used to be known as the Black girl that did all the white shows, because you didn't see a lot of Black people. Now you got leads of shows, Niecy Nash doing Claws and Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder, and Kerry Washington. So it is opening up. And I like that. More people behind the scenes. That's what we need.
Yeah.
I meant to ask,
Word.
with you quarantining in this pandemic, and you talked about you having diabetes. Are you making sure that you're staying away from people and taking it serious and not going out? Like, how are you quarantining and how serious are you taking it?
I mean, I'm taking it very seriously, because look, y'all know, if my ex-husband's called me all the time to make sure I'm okay. Because if something happened to me, the whole house of cards will fall. So and y'all know this, because I talk about it all the time. I got a bunch of people and husbands to support, but yeah, I do take it seriously. And I got Jeffrey, so I got to make sure I'm okay. So I don't let a lot of people come in. I even told the plumber when he had to fix the toilet, I said, can you fix it outside? You ain't got to come in the house. So he was cute too. I did let him in.
I saw you went on a social media.
Like that,
okay.
Why you be doing your exes like that though, Sherri? Because I think last year one of your exes got mad because you got at them on DL Hughley's show. Like, why
because here's the thing. No, Charlamagne, when I went on D.L. Hughley, the first thing when I was on the show, D.L. says, I never liked your ex-husband. I didn't like him. I just answered the question. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you. I don't bring it up. The only thing that I said was, and then look, and then DJ Envy, you said, how you handling it? And I said, a lot of people depend on me. The truth is, I pay all of this support to ex-husbands. So don't be getting on me like I'm just dragging them through the mud. Then what happens is the ex-husbands go to TMZ and then they go, Sherri blocking me from getting work in Hollywood. Stop sending all my friends scripts and asking my friends to be in your stuff. What you think they gonna do? They gonna stop calling me.
Now, Sherri, let me ask you this. If one of your exes sent a script and it was good to you and you were like, okay, this could be a decent role, would you actually do that work? Would you play that role?
Oh,
Let's just say it was a good script.
Oh, Angela, you saying if they send a script to me?
Yeah, and they were like, Sherri, I think this would be amazing. Let's do a spoof of our breakup, right? Maybe like how Kenya Barris did Black AF, and it was actually good. Would that be something you would consider? Like, is it business, not personal sometimes, or?
No, because my salary would have to cover all the court costs and the trial attorneys and the pain and suffering. You ain't got enough to pay me to be in a spoof about our marriage. So that answer is no.
Now, I see you've been doing some socially distancing dates. You had one the other day, right? So what about, and talk about that, because y'all were in separate cars. Like, what was that like?
And how you meeting these guys?
You still meet them on dating sites. I mean, Bumble is still working. The dating sites are still working. It's just what's Bumble's so amazing. Hard. It is amazing. Lonnie got her boyfriend. They've been together almost 2 years. People get married off of it. So I've been giving up hope on love. But what's hard is when you have to sit in your SUV and they sit in their SUV and you're sitting in the Macy's parking lot and you talking to each other through the window. At some point, I got lipstick on my lips for a reason. When are we going to use my lips? So that's not cute. And I'm not talking about for that particular date, but I mean, I was talking to Garcelle Bouvet the other day. It's like, what happens after COVID? How do you date? It's because as soon as y'all cough, if y'all cough right now, I'm like this. So.
Don't back up too much. You ain't got no pants on, girl.
Oh, that's right, girl. I forgot. Y'all ain't gonna give me doggone band.
I didn't know Lonnie found her bae on Bumble.
Yes, she did. She found her bae on Bumble, and it's been about 2 years for her and James. So she was the one that said, Sherri, going to dating sites.
So let me ask you a question, right? So when you go on Bumble, right? you don't use your picture, right? Because they gonna know who you are. But so do you use your picture or do you use somebody else's picture?
I do. No, I use my. Well, now how am I use somebody else's picture?
You can't use someone else's picture on Bumble.
You're famous. They know who you are. I figured, they know who you are.
That's the point. That's the whole point.
That's called catfish.
Just thousands of people.
You can't lie on Bumble.
You can't lie on Bumble. I put glasses on. So when I put my glasses on, I think I look a little bit different because I have a picture with my glasses on. And it's kind of, like all American kind of girl. I may have slipped in Garcelle Bouvet's picture in one of mine. Yeah, I look innocent with my glasses. So I do have my glasses. I got my real name. Most people, they don't know who, they act like they don't know who I am. I know if they go, can you talk to Will Packer for me? Then I know.
Damn it,
who
man.
I am. But nobody.
For other guys on Bumble, what do you look for when you accept a date or when you accept a conversation?
I want him to have his own money, his own job, be successful in his territory. I want a sense of humor. I like to laugh. So if you're silly, I love it. And I don't want anybody in the industry. So if you're a dentist, a judge, a doctor, an accountant, you see where I'm going? I'm good.
Right.
If you're a circus performer, you in the business. I don't want you.
What if, now you said 2 SUVs, your SUV and his SUV. What if he pulled up in a hooptie? Would that matter?
Hooptie on out of here. No, you can hooptie on out of here. I'm going to be real. Come on, y'all. I'm going to be real. Because here's the problem. There's just stuff that I'm going to want to do. And if you're driving a hooptie, we're not going to be able to do it together. Because I got a son who's not going to fit in a hooptie. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I got invited. Kevin Hart had a birthday party a number of years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was you had to fly over there. You had to rent the hotel that they gave you was big 5-star hotel. Now, if you driving a hooptie, chances are if I go, babe, I want you to go to Kevin Hart's party over in Belize, we got to get this 5-star hotel. You're not going to be able to go.
True.
So who's going to pay? That is true.
You are stereotyping that man. Just because he got a hooptie, he might be a multi-millionaire. It don't matter.
I wouldn't say that, but okay. You could fly first class. You could fly coach. You know what I mean?
Now, what it's gonna look like me flying first class and my man is over here coach because he can't afford. Angela, you know this.
Why do y'all think?
No, stop that.
I'm gonna tell you what though, Sherri.
I got Sherri, a 2002 Cadillac Escalade with
he's lying.
70,000 miles on it.
We haven't seen that car in 6 years.
Okay, well, I got a 2014 Chevy Tahoe with about 100-something thousand miles on it and 2 holes in the back. Hoopty don't mean nothing.
You mean like
you know what? Yeah, thank you.
No, I ran into a tree.
Oh.
Now that means something. That definitely means something. Ladies, if you ain't looking at somebody who got a hoopty and ran into a tree, something wrong with you. We would talk. You got a hoopty and you done hit a tree. And then you telling me I'm stereotyping. First of all, I'm gonna talk to you. Look, let me tell you something. Look, and Angela, you know this. If you're selling real estate and you're selling homes and you pull up in a hoopty, is somebody really gonna want to buy a home from you? It's your presentation. So I understand. I'm not putting you down if you got a hoopty. You're working your way there, but you're gonna have a problem as a man if you're trying to keep up with me. So now I gotta come down here. I don't mind if you have a hoopty. My nephew got a hoopty, but he better not introduce me to none of his friends. You can't even help me if I need to. What add value are you going to add to this relationship? Because I know what I'm bringing. I already know that, and I'm coming to you very presentable. But what add value are you going to bring? If I say I need another wig because this wig is just and it's $700, is that going to interfere with your hoopty payments?
Well, you know what, Sherri? You know what it is? I'm from New York, though. And I'm from New York, and a lot of people in New York don't really have cars like that. So that's why I think for me growing up, a car wasn't really a major thing, just because parking is difficult.
But if you're in a city like LA where you do need a car, because when I did The View in New York, I didn't have a car. I was in the train all the time. On the subway. But if you're in a place where you have a car, so that's just what we're talking about now. If you're over here, Angela, and somebody says, you know what, I work over here and I work part-time as a waiter, it's going to be just a little bit harder for us to do what we want to do because you're working part-time. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just going, our levels are going to be different. And what's ultimately going to end up happening is you may feel affected as a man. If I'm over here carousing with Kevin Hart and you know, all of these different people at a party that you can't afford to go to because you got to go to work and you can't take off. I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of stand-up. So my man, where's he at? Now other men are coming in. It's just, we just got to look at where we
Sherri,
at. That's all.
Shepherd,
Then don't tell me I'm stereotyping. Stereotyping. And I got a child.
Your blessing, you're going to miss your blessing, Sherri. And if Lisa McDowell thought like you, she'd have never found Prince Hakeem. She'd have never gave Prince Hakeem the time of day.
No, Charlamagne, what you all let me, no, yeah, what you and Charlamagne, you talking, you gonna have me over here with somebody with a hooptie that'll hit a tree so many damn times. And I'm gonna be sitting there going, well, God says so. Charlamagne done told me I need to be with you. We can't afford to go nowhere. Can we get there? Yeah, that's who you gonna have me with. Don't, no, please. And I got a child.
I agree with
my child go to school. So how you gonna help me? What value I know what I'm bringing and I present it to you. What are you bringing? Come on, man.
What if there's an African prince, soon to be a king, over here just trying to find his queen, and he wants you to love him for him. So he's moonlighting, working as a waiter, trying to get your love, but you fronting on him because he got a hooptie and he's a waiter.
No.
Meanwhile, he got a whole kingdom back in Africa.
So you just said a person soon to be a king, he's looking for his queen. She already queen. So go and be a king so you can get your queen, but not soon to be. You got, you know, and I'm over here, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. Do what you need to do. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. So, hey, you ain't gonna make me feel bad. Because when I tell you I got a son,
I was going to say, Sherri, I do agree with you that a man's ego definitely is hurt when a woman can do a lot of things and he can't provide for you and he can't participate or even fly himself. I agree with that because that is hurtful and sometimes that causes issues. That imbalance in a relationship will cause some issues.
And you know,
so I agree with that.
And Angela, what happens is, you know, when we try to say, you know, and be supportive, what happens is sometimes a man ends up resenting us because you can do it and they can't. So then what we tend to do, women, is we go, well, let me help you. Let me help you and give you everything I got to help you be there. And then you still end up resenting the woman because she's doing everything. So it's almost, we're in this, you know, we're not in a win-win situation. And you try, and y'all look, I done been through it, and I've tried to be the
That's your own experiences,
so
and you learn from it. I agree.
And so what I realized is I have to get a man who he is king in his territory. You're doing what you need to do, and you're happy, and you're not depending on me to help. Because otherwise, if I don't help, you're not going to be able to do some of the things that I need to do when I need to do it. If Nene calls and says we having a big bash, come on and join us. So it's either I pay for it or I go, Nene, I can't go. And I want to go because I've worked hard and I want to go. And you're not going to be able to take us in a car that's hit a tree 3 times.
That's what we like to call, we need somebody with BDE, big dick energy, right? And that's what you need, somebody that's confident. That's what it is, BDE.
And look, Charlamagne, I'm not looking for a prince or a king. That would be nice. I said a judge, a doctor, an accountant. I'm a simple girl.
What about a video game?
You know how to handle you.
What about a video game? They make some money now.
I don't want a video gamer because that means you're stuck playing video games. You twiddle your thumbs on me, not on no daggone.
Woo! That might be some strong thumbs though, Sherri. I don't know. Don't discount that. You might like it.
But that means you stuck behind a console all day. That's all. I know video gamers, and I was married to one, and no, he didn't make the money, but he played those video games nonstop. And I was very unhappy. No video games.
Sherri, you done been through it.
Look, he didn't make the money, but he was good at playing the video games.
Why didn't you introduce him to a league or something? You're like, look, if you're gonna play video games all day, at least make a career out of it.
See, and therein is the problem. See, and we keep doing everything, and you turn around, and then you get resentful. So I've learned to say, I just want to be your cheerleader. I'm going to come home and tell you about my day, and you come home and tell me about your day. I'm not going to interfere in your stuff. And there I go.
So how was that when he told you about his day? How do you tell you? Say, I just played Little Chris. Like, how was that when he said, well, how was my day?
I played DJ and B Son.
He just was playing video games all day. Like we went to a party one time and it was a big industry party. And he was like, y'all got a PS4 or whatever was that at the time. I was mortified. But let me tell you something. Yes, he did. And then, but all the other guys, Charlamagne, they all started playing with him too. Every woman was mad at me. Because all the guys started playing the video games. Mad at me. I was mortified.
Now, you also have your podcast, Two Funny Mamas, with Kim Whitley. So how much fun is that for you? Because that seems like it's something that you're doing just because you're passionate about it and it's a good time.
I love doing Two Funny Mamas podcast. It's on YouTube, so you can subscribe on YouTube. And we're just, we're two single mothers. We're raising Black boys, and we just happen to be, we just love making people laugh. We're on tour on our Ladies Night Out comedy tour, Kim Whitley and I. And we talk about everything from marching, from Don Lemon calling people out, to should we shave during the quarantine, to how do you have COVID sex, back to how do you have confidence as a woman, how do you date. It's just a gamut of stuff because we grown ass women and we talk about grown stuff. So I love it. So we're on our seventh episode right now. And right now we still have people coming at us wanting to pitch a TV show based on us. And, ultimately I would love Kim and I to have a talk show.
I would love that. I love
Kim Whitley. I thought Don Lemon. I thought Don Lemon was corny for that. By the way,
I thought it was very self-serving, Charlamagne, because you calling out people. You don't know what people are doing. You don't know what people are donating. Exactly. And you saw he walked it back when Dave Chappelle called him out. He stuttered so much. I was like, what's wrong with the way you talking? So I think if you want somebody to come on your show, just call them and go, hey Tyler, do a bro a favor and come on my show. Be honest. So I think that's what it was. You wanted more people to come on your show, so you were calling them out. But, everybody's doing what they can at the level that they can do it.
Right. I saw you talking about Dave Chappelle's special too on the podcast. So,
we love Dave Chappelle's special. As a woman, I was telling Kim, and this is what we talk about on Two Funny Mamas. I love Dave Chappelle as a comic, to study him and sit up under him. I've known him for a long time. I felt like with Candace Owens, that's the only thing I was just like, I wish you would have dressed her up and down the way you did Don Lemon. The one thing I think y'all do when y'all disagree with women, you go to the physicality. And you talk about us physically instead of articulating what you like and don't like. And I was waiting for that, for Dave Chappelle, because you got the intelligence to do it. And so to go to calling her the C word, and at the end of the day, she's still our crazy cousin. If she come back and say, you know what, I lost my mind, we'd be like, come on, cousin. So I just felt like, take her to task the way you did Don Lemon, because you did Don Lemon. You took him up and took him down. And I really wanted to see him do that to Candace Owens, as opposed to what, physically and her, it smelled. And I'll tell you what it smelled like. I was just like, come on, bro, get her. But,
No, you're right.
Have y'all had her on y'all show?
No, you're right. No,
has she been on y'all show? No. Oh, I would love for y'all to talk to her and just have a good discussion and just get her that way.
Would you and Kim have her on?
Would Kim and I have her on? I don't know. I'm not as great of a debater with Candace because I get so emotional, Angela, and I'm from Chicago. Then I want to slap.
I feel you.
Then I want to start fighting. So I know where my lane is, and I get ghetto. That's not going to serve African Americans very well if y'all here to Sheridan slap Candace Owens and pull their daggone hair, and they got to do it because that's why I end up going. I don't know if it will work so well.
I think sometimes people like attention so much, though, even if it's negative, and sometimes it's like, I don't know if I want to promote that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Candace Owens loved the attention from Dave Chappelle, but I think she's very dangerous because I think people but where I think Candace Owens is very dangerous is people from around the world are watching this Black woman talk about us, and they think that's how we feel. And I think that's dangerous. We got to look beyond just, Hackensack, New Jersey, what Candace is doing. What's she doing over in these other countries and how they feel about us? So I would love for y'all to talk to her and, and get her good.
I think she just represents one perspective. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as dangerous as people make it out to be, only because it's one perspective. It's too many other great perspectives out there for that to be the representation of all Black.
But you know what? Charlamagne, and I hate giving even her this much attention, but that one perspective is the one perspective that a great deal of people use. This woman she goes on tour with comedians and talks. They repost this woman all the time, and she gets reposted and reposted. So that one perspective becomes a huge perspective on a world level, on a world scale. And I ain't saying no more about that.
Yeah, please.
You have a 14-year-old son, right? Your son's 14 now?
He just turned 15. He's in high school, and I found out I found out he has a Snapchat account. And on his Snapchat account, he said, I like the WWE, I like the NBA, I like Teen Titans and Nickelodeon, and I want a girlfriend. It was so sweet.
He wants a girlfriend.
What if his girlfriend got a hooptie?
That's okay, because he got a hooptie. Like, my son comes in and says,
only
why can't
15.
He's 15. He should have a hooptie. If he's driving around with a girl who's got a Mercedes, then that means she's a grown woman like me, and I'm going to punch her in her damn mouth trying to get my son. So she should have, I'm that kind of mama. Don't come at my son, these older women, because he's starting to look like a young man, and I can see older women looking at him, and I look at them and go, you don't even have a uterus anymore, so stop it.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't play around with my son. I'm one of those, Angela.
Now, with everything that's going on now, what conversations are you having with him now? Because he's 15, he's out, and he's with his friends, and we see what happened with George Floyd. We see what's going on with the world. Racists are popping out crazy. So what conversations are you having with him?
It's very hard for me because I just did a post about Elijah McClain, who was murdered by the police. And, he was wearing a ski mask, which if people who have children with special needs or unique challenges, those things, it helps your nervous system. That's why you wear those kind of things. Jeffrey wears a hoodie because, the hood on his head, it just grounds his nervous system, and he's socially awkward. So to know that a boy got murdered and they didn't get to see, he was saying to them, I'm an introvert, I'm different. And they weren't listening to him. It broke something in me yesterday, I swear. It's very scary for me. And I try not to, I'm raising a Blackish sort of child. He does have a lot of benefits because I'm his mother. But at the end of the day, they don't know he's Sherri Shepherd's son. And I try to, I want him to have his innocence and not go out there with all of this fear. So he can handle some of it, the conversation, but then sometimes he's like, it's too much, mommy. Stop sending me all of the Karen videos because I like doggone, the WWE women. So I'm trying not to give him too much and let him be happy and let him have his joy.
Right.
So it's been rough. I think I'm more anxious for me.
He wants a girlfriend now. What if he brings home a white girl? Would that matter to you? Are you cool with whatever?
I want the person who loves my son, but I have to say, Angela, when you say that, fear goes all through my body. It just does, because I'm seeing all of these Beckys and Karens, and it's my fear. At some point, you're going to act the way you are. I'm a Black woman. At some point, I'm going to act like where I came from. I keep it suppressed a lot, but it will come out. And I feel at some point, you're going to act like who you are. And that scares me. That scares me that there could be one misunderstanding and she can say, I'm going to call the police. You got angry, and that scared me. So I would have a hard time. I don't want to put that on him, but for me, it scares me.
Want to protect your son,
right? Something, Sherri. God got a sense of humor, so I can see him bringing home a Karen, a white woman actually named Karen who's driving a hooptie.
Middle name Becky.
I can see that happening.
And you just have to, I will love whoever my son brings. And I don't want to put any of that on him. I will love, if you love my son, I'm going to love you. I'm not going to say I don't have any trepidations, and that's why I have to trust in God that he brings the right woman. But I sure hope she look like me with a long wig.
Goodness.
Oh, Sherri is crazy. Mr. Iglesias is on Netflix right now, right?
That's right.
It's on right now, Mr. Iglesias, and I got a book. I'm working on a book, and then I got a movie coming out called Best Week Ever on Netflix. It'll be coming out in a couple weeks. I got some more stuff going on. I'm in quarantine. I can't even remember. But Mr. Iglesias is the big one, and my podcast, Two Funny Mamas.
All right.
Well,
thank you for joining us.
A new episode is out today. A new episode is out. A new podcast episode is out today on YouTube. So I'm
on it. Okay. I'll be listening.
All right, Sherri. Well, thank you for checking in. We appreciate you.
Self-finance, okay? I done sold my hoopties to pay for this podcast. So there we go, Charlamagne.
All right. Well, it's Sherri Shepherd. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Thank you.
Peace.
See y'all.